Hey again. This is just a video of another crazy workflow I've done on Clay. I want to say before you skip the video, I'm not going to expect you to watch the whole video, but please just skip to the end. I'm going to say the timestamp above and you can see the results of the Clay workflow. And if you aren't impressed, go ahead and skip the video. And if you want to be able to do the same outreach for your own company, feel free to watch it through. I do want to say, however, the inspiration of this workflow actually wasn't done by me. All credit goes to Eric Novoslavsky there. I'll be able to tag him or send his LinkedIn profile as well. So if he's already done it, why do I feel the need to make this video? He basically has a video on it. That's pretty good. I just felt like there were some things he forgot to show, which makes it pretty hard to replicate. I spent some hours perfecting it. So I thought I'd give it away for free with all the prompts, so you can actually just copy it right away and be able to do the same for you guys. But the essential of this workflow is basically just that you want to find people that a company likely sells to and then give them free prospects. So if people sell to like CEOs, just a basic example, we'll be able to find some companies they might like to work with based on the service they sell, and then send them some free leads, basically showing we've done our research. So this will make more sense in the end. But basically, what I've done is I've just uploaded a quick lead list here, an example lead list. The first thing you want to do is enrich the company. Why? Because you want the description. You want the description of the company so the AI can actually base the service that the company has off of something. And the best thing to do here is actually the description. So first, I want to find some target customers. What titles, what roles do they want to be like? Do they want to work with? Do they want to be reaching out to? So my prompt here basically just says, based on the description, find out who gets value from the service most likely. Feel free to stop it and watch this, through. But basically, it's just putting out some job titles that the company, based on this description, likely wants to work with. So you see here it outputs bank hiring managers, startup founders, and asset management recruiters. This is already incredibly niche, and if we can like personalize at this level, it's really really good, right? So after that, we actually want to find some companies that they could be targeting. So it looks a lot the same as the one before. So we basically say, give me some companies based on the description that they likely want to reach out to, and we make sure to say something like, make sure it's not just like a Fortune 500 company, because not everybody wants to sell to like Google or Tesla, right? So we want it to be niche. And a really smart way to do this is actually you run it first time, and it gives like some semi not niche companies like Citigroup, Epic Games, HBO, stuff like that. So you can actually just run it again, like the exact same prompt, and just say, don't include any of these companies, right? So in the end, I've just copied it and said, make sure the companies are not listed here. So it's not any of these. This makes it even more niche, right? So what I've done now is I've created a formula, because sometimes it's actually hard for AI, I found out, to take a comma separated list. You see, for example, the target customers here, it's comma separated, and it might sometimes be hard for AI to really work with this. So basically, I have a formula to saying, let's see here. Here's a comma separated list. I want you to replace all the commas and insert or between each of them, right? So it says bank hiring managers or startup founders or asset managers. This makes it way easier for the next step, which is now we want to find LinkedIn profiles of people that might be a good fit. So they have these roles. So it's a bank hiring manager or whatever for one of these 10 companies, right? And here it becomes relevant to have the or thing, because we wanted to say they need to work for Google or Facebook or Instagram, instead of if it's like a comma separated list, they need to work for Google, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, good luck finding someone who works for all three, right? So this is a completely essential step, by the way, even though it doesn't seem like it. So here, it's a really long prompt. Once again, feel free to stop it and read it through. Basically, think of AI, especially this Clayagent, as like a little kid that you really have to give specific instructions for how it wants something done, because every time it has the chance to ruin the output, it will. So you have to give it insanely specific instructions. And like a really good note is just like you won't get it perfect on the first time. Just like run it a couple of times and tweak it each time. So this is my entire output. I've actually found it works better with GPT 3.5. The reason for this is actually GPT-4 is smarter, right? It's better, but it's actually not as good. It's not as good with like long prompts, and this is like a really long prompt. It has to be long to run. So it's kind of a dilemma, right? Because it's really complicated, which makes GPT-4 ideal. But the fact that it's so long is also what makes it complicated, and GPT-4 doesn't like long prompts. So then we go back to GPT-3, and it's like a paradox, right? But due to the sheer cost of running it with GPT-4, I decided to just run with GPT 3.5. And this was one of the things Eric didn't show, which is why I felt compelled to make this video, because this is by far the hardest thing to get right. This took me like hours to perfect, yeah. So basically you see here, it outputs like usually 3 LinkedIn profiles, by the way. It still won't do it perfectly. But here it's 3 comma-separated personal LinkedIn profiles. And you see the reasoning here is actually really good. The confidence is super high, which is great. So then we have, once again, a comma-separated list, but this is hard to format. So now we do what's called a JSON input, which basically just separates each of the URL into specific like inputs. This is super easy. You just go into AI, turn on this JSON mode. Then you have to mention JSON in the prompt. And I just say the denominator should be URLs, which is just like this thing, URLs. Makes it easier. And then I actually have some settings here. I say I only want this to run if the confidence of like the LinkedIn profiles is over 79. The reason for this is if it's lower than that, usually it actually gives you like bad results, but still results. So it might give you like a LinkedIn profile, but it's a LinkedIn profile to a company instead of a person. And we don't want that. Or maybe it couldn't find someone who worked with certain titles, so it just came up with something random. We don't want that either. So I've said only do it if the confidence is over 79, so it's basically 80 and above. And if like the results, so the links doesn't include the word company, because every company LinkedIn URL has like the word company in it. So this will exclude company. You'll see that sometimes it will still like give you back articles and stuff, but you'll just you'll have to live with that if you don't want to spend like $0.2 on each of these. So we get this JSON input. What I do is just you go down here, responses, URLs, and then you press one of these, add as a column, and you get them here, right? 0 is the first one, 1 is the second, and 2 is the third. This is also where we can see if we don't have like 3, if it outputted wrong, there won't be anything here, which is great to know. Nevertheless, then we enrich the person. You just search this like enrich person from LinkedIn profile, and you choose, for example, the first URL here, this one, 0, and it will enrich the person. And I chose to just like give me these variables. So I have the name, I have the title, the job title, right, and the organization they work for. Then I did a super simple find the company website based on like the organization name. Super easy to do. The reason I have to do this, by the way, is because we need the company website to run this waterfall option. This is once again super easy. You can just go into like right here, add enrichments, find email, I think. Yeah, this is a waterfall. You can see here, right? Work email. Waterfall basically just means if the first option doesn't work, I'll just run the next option, right? So it runs the waterfall here super easily. If this like Prospero doesn't find the email, it will go to this one, and if it doesn't find out this one, it will go to these like other ones. And these are like super useless, by the way, but we run it nevertheless. Sometimes there's a bug where it doesn't like output the email correctly. You can see like from this work email, it should be outputted here, but it isn't. So what I've done is I've just gone here, pressed here, and then I'm saying email add as a column, which means all these email will be a separate column. That means, of course, we doesn't have like this one, Pearl at something. So we just merge these two columns. We take this column and merge it with this one, and then we have all the emails. And then now I can actually just like do a text column where I just say name, title, organization, new column, which is the email, and then 0, which is the LinkedIn profile, right? And then I just do a formula saying, see here, copy the output of new column. So this is like everything I just went over, but only if the email is not empty, because we don't want this thing to run if there's no email to contact them by, right? So now we have this formula. So we have the name, we have job title, we have the org he works for, we have his email, and we have his personal LinkedIn. What we can do now is, like, if you like to do it a bit more manually like I do, add a filter, say formula is not empty. There we go. Then we only get the ones where we have this, which is what we are looking for. Down here, you can press export, download as a view as CSV, and now you have a list with this. So I'll just show you what it looks like. Super basic. If we preview this, hey Richard, I came across your company and did some digging. It seems like you sell to construction managers, property developers, and building service engineers. I did some research on your company, on some companies you could sell to based on your service, and found some prospects you might want to reach out to, including their contact information. Phil Perry, senior construction manager, so that works super well with what they sell. Morgan Sindall, it's the company he works for, his email, and his personal LinkedIn. If this isn't enough, I'd be happy to jump on a call and show you how you can build lists like these for thousands of prospects for free. Super good offer. This is like, they're not receiving emails like this on the daily. Let's put it like that, right? So this is free value. They're likely to respond. You can probably expect to like 2 to 3 extra reply rate with this. Granted, it's a little expensive through Clay credits, and especially through GPT credits for sure. But it's interesting to look into, right? And I hope you can use this in a way. All right, take care.